What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and this is the Sony Xperia Z5 Premium. Sony's smartphone lineup is known for a couple of things that make it popular: badass cameras and waterproof durability. And it's safe to say that both of these boxes are checked off here, but this time around, Sony added a new category: stupid high resolution. The Z5 Premium packs the first 4K display on a smartphone. But is it worth the hype? Alongside the Z5 Premium, Sony launched the Z5 and Z5 Compact, both of which are excellent smartphones in their own rights, but admittedly I've been much more interested in the premium model. Don't underestimate the rest of Sony's lineup though, as they are fantastic smartphones, but in most categories they are just as good as this, so this video will cover all the bases. And in terms of design, well, we have the typical Xperia look. Slightly modified this time around though, but basically the same tired design. Metal frame with glass on the front and the back. And I'm actually rocking a titanium D-brand skin here, which I think looks pretty awesome. And if you want to pick one up for yourself, I will leave a link below for you. But a huge shout out to D-brand for helping me get my hands on this phone. For me, it's all about that display and what kind of impact it makes on performance, usability, and battery life. And for that reason, we're going to ditch the Z5 and Compact model. But if you want to see more of those two, be sure to leave this video a thumbs up. As for specifications, Sony's Xperia Z5 Premium sports a 5.5-inch IPS display with a resolution of 3840 by 2160, which is good for a mind-blowing 801 pixels per inch. It's packing a Snapdragon 810 processor, 3 GB of RAM, and a 3430 mAh non-removable battery, and 32 GB of internal storage with micro SD card expansion up to 200 GB. First off, let's get this out of the way. You won't notice a big difference with this display when compared to a Quad HD phone. Maybe under a magnifying glass, but nothing that's going to make a difference in the real world. Don't believe me? Well, here's the Xperia Z5 next to the Nexus 6P. Can you tell the difference? Let me know in the comments below. But the Z5 Premium's entire user interface is simply upscaled to match the panel's resolution. The UI is actually rendered at 1080p. The 4K panel is only fully utilized when needed for things like high-res photos and videos. Now, you may think of all this as a fault, but it's actually a blessing. You see, if Sony rendered everything in 4K, well, you might as well kiss performance and battery life goodbye. The 4K marketing aspect of this phone is a bit gimmicky, since it's unlikely that you'll ever use the pixels to their fullest, but it's still a pretty cool party trick and something to drool over, and you can view your high-res photos and videos in full resolution, which look pretty great. My buddy Marquez took a real close look at this display with a macro lens, and it's a pretty cool video, and if you want to check that out, I will leave a link below for you. Either way, 4K is cool, and the display looks great, but don't hold your breath for a fully 4K rendered smartphone anytime soon, unless there's a sacrifice in performance or battery life. Speaking of performance, this phone is actually pretty much butter, but to be honest, that's not very surprising for a 2015 flagship. I mean, come on, it's running Lollipop with Sony's mostly plain skin on it, and there are a few extra features, but performance is not an issue here, so there's really not much else to say in this department. Real quick though, let's talk about the Z5's fingerprint sensor. It's located on the lock button, which I think is pretty genius. When you unlock the phone with the button, it recognizes your fingerprint and you're in. It's not the fastest fingerprint sensor I've seen on a smartphone this year, but at least the setup process is quick and easy, and it's definitely one of the best implementations I've seen. And it's also available across the entire Z5 lineup, so that's pretty cool. Big win for Sony with the fingerprint sensor here. Moving along to the cameras, the Z5 Premium is packing a 5.1 megapixel front-facing camera and a 23 megapixel rear shooter, and I've really been enjoying it. Camera performance isn't the best that I've seen, but it's definitely in the top 5. It's a solid shooter all around, but instead of just talking about it all, I'll leave a gallery link below so you can check out the full resolution photos yourself. As for battery life, thanks to the dynamic resolutions I explained earlier, battery life is pretty normal. It's not fantastic, but average. I was able to get, on average, 4.5 hours of screen on time. Again, that's not revolutionary, but given the pixels packed here, I was pretty happy, though it never made it the 2 days that Sony promised, but I guess I could see that possible with a very light user. I don't know, maybe. So here's the deal. The Z5 Premium is a great phone, but don't buy it for the 4K display. It's not worth the premium. It's another solid 2015 smartphone, but it's not really special enough outside of that display to be memorable. I love the pixels here and the camera is nice, but again, not worth the hype for me. Now, before I get out of here today, I want to give a huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Audible.com. And if you haven't heard of Audible, I highly recommend them. There are over 180,000 audiobooks at Audible, and you can get your hands on a free audiobook with a 30-day trial if you go ahead and visit audible.com/Dom Esposito or visit the link below in the description. I highly recommend that you check out In the Plex by Stephen Levy. It's a book that's all about Google, how Google thinks, works, and shapes our lives. It's pretty awesome, and like I said, you can get that book and a free 30-day trial to audible.com if you visit the link in the description or go to audible.com/Dom Esposito. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more reviews like this in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone. This is Dom, and I'll catch you in the next video.